He's a really super trooper. The one, the... Never mind. Super Fuzz. Overseas it was titled Super Snooper. And it probably got a theatrical release over there. But for me, it was just this fun film that aired on HBO in the early 80s. I was a kid in that decade, so superheroes were a big deal for me. Ah, who am I kidding? They still are. Starring Terrence Hill as Officer Dave Speed, who goes to Creektown to collect on a traffic violation. Unfortunately for him, that same day and in that same area, NASA is running a top-secret experiment, a rocket ship carrying red plutonium. And when Dave unwittingly shoots the rocket, the plutonium explodes all around him. His partner, Willie Dunlop, played by Ernest Borgnine, believed he was killed, but is quite shocked to see Dave show up very much alive the next day. Dave discovers that the blast has given him superpowers. He can do all these amazing things. He uses it to stop crime and so forth. Now, his only drawback... Now, this may be a little bit of a spoiler in case you haven't seen the movie. But he discovers that red, the color red, is his kryptonite. Okay, it doesn't exactly weaken him. But whenever he sees the color red, his powers disappear. He's normal whenever he looks at the color red, he is pretty much normal. A criminal named Tony Torpedo, played by Mark Lawrence, wants to do away with Dunlop and Speed, worried that those two cops will eventually stumble on his little scheme, which he is flooding Florida with fake $1 bills. How will this all play out? Well, you're going to have to see the movie to find out. Is this a good movie? No. It's not trying to be nothing great. It's just trying to be this fun little entertaining film. This is a film about a cop who gains superpowers. So you gotta... The suspension of disbelief can be stretched pretty high. Although the movie never really... the movie never really says the amount of superpowers that Dave has. Each part of the film he does something new. I think the movie's just making itself up as it goes along. Terrence Hill is pretty good as Dave Speed. He kind of has this real innocent-like ability to him. He is paired with Ernest Borgnine, who just this cranky old veteran, and this young rookie. They just play off each other perfectly. Even though I've heard that Borgnine did not like this film. He was just in it because he was bored and he had nothing to do. Action scenes are pretty decent. It kind of goes in slapstickish territory, like with some parts with Three Stooges and one part Inspector Clouseau. The movie never gets too silly to the point where it goes in ridiculous territory, and it never takes itself too seriously. If you like those type of films, that's good, because Super Fuzz is that film for you. There's Julie Gordon as Evelyn, who Willie Dunlop's niece and Dave's girlfriend, and Mark Lawrence is pretty good as Tony Torpedo. He just yells in every scene. I'm sure he's been in a lot of films and played a lot of variety of characters, but a lot of films I've seen him in when he was a kid, he's always played a bad guy. That was a decade where superhero films were not getting the big treatment as they should have gotten. The only thing big was Christopher Reeve's Superman. Superheroes in those days were pretty big on the small screen with Wonder Woman and the Incredible Hulk. It took a while for the superhero franchise to really get off the ground. So I guess filmmakers wanted to make a superhero premise that's not based on a comic book. The Greatest American Hero followed on the small screen a year after this film. So yeah, this was a fun film. If you're not in the right mindset to see this film, then you're probably not going to like it. So I'll give Super Fuzz an 8 out of 10. Bye bye.